Let's talk about a very common yoga pose or a transition that you will probably encounter in many yoga classes. High to low plank or Chaturanga Dandasana. On the surface, this seems like a really simple transition. From a high plank, you bend your elbows and you go into a low plank. However, if done incorrectly, especially for a long period of time, this could lead to shoulder issues, wrist issues. In this video, I'll give you some alignment tips as well as some common misalignments to look out for and some alternative poses as you're working to build up strength for a full high to low plank. Let's get to it. This is how I generally cue students to get into high to low plank. Place your hands down onto the ground about shoulders width distance apart. From there, step your feet back and separate your feet hips width distance apart, which helps with stability. And to make sure that your booty doesn't go too high up into the air, point your tailbone towards your heels, which not only keeps your seat low, but also engages your core. And now from your beautiful high plank alignment, shift forward about 2 inches so you're on your tiptoes and bend your elbows up to 90 degrees. The next question, how low do you go in your high to low plank? I like to cue up to 90 degrees. My biceps are still engaged and there's not too much pressure in my shoulders. Going too low really compromises my shoulder stability, my wrists, and also puts a lot of pressure on my elbows. One of the most common misalignments that I see in this pose is somebody just goes from high plank to low plank and they just bend their elbows. The main reason I like to cue shift forward and bend your elbows up to 90 degrees is that it aligns my elbows with my wrists and helps alleviate some pressure on my wrist joints and also take some of the pressure off there. If you've noticed that after a yoga class or after doing a lot of high to low planks, your wrists are sore, maybe give this trick a try. The other common misalignment that I see also has to do with elbow placement. So a lot of students will approach high to low plank kind of like a push-up. So as they lower down, they flare their elbows out to the side, which engages your chest, but doesn't really bring your back into the equation, which makes the pose that much harder. Instead, point your elbows back and squeeze your elbows around your torso, which fires up your lats, bringing your back muscles and your chest muscles into the posture. If you're still working on building shoulder strength, bicep strength, and back strength for high to low plank, here are some alternatives you can try. From your high plank, still shift forward onto your tiptoes, but lower your knees down to the mat and bend your elbows up to 90 degrees. This still gives you the chance to build back strength, shoulder strength, as well as core strength with just not as much pressure. The other alternative is to hold your high plank, which is a great core workout. And then lastly, always wait in tabletop pose. Well, that, my friends, was a very quick overview of high to low plank. Of course, if you have any questions, please send them my way. And if you got anything out of this video, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it and it'll come in handy in your next yoga class. See you on the mat.